So there's a gentleman in Atlanta who is very not pleased with a virtual restaurant delivery that he received on Uber Eats. So this man believes that he was catfished by food, or in this case, I guess specifically the restaurant. So if you have a look at the picture on the picture on the far left and the second picture from the left, so the far left picture is what he thought he was ordering, and the second one with the shrimps and the stuff that looks like throw up is what he actually got. Now, if you look at the far right with the sweet yams and the potatoes, that's what he thought he was ordering. And the picture next to that is what he got. So this man was needlessly not very pleased, right? I mean, the food never looks like it does in the apps or on the commercials. You know, they're throwing motor oil on there to look like maple syrup, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, you know, shoe polish for, you know, to give it like a burger, a char grilled effect. But this isn't even close. That looks like, okay, the first thing on the left, that looks gourmet. The second thing looks like something that a drunk 3-year-old would make.
When I
drunk
saw
3-year-old. We're just gonna let that pass.
I know. I just laughed because I'm like, yeah, really? The first thing I saw this, I'm like, is catfishing food like a thing? Like, I thought that was for like online dating. And then I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, like, I guess you can call this catfishing in some sort. But when I first read this, and I'm thinking from a customer's perspective, I personally don't expect my food to show up like the pictures that are on the app, because I feel like that's really unrealistic. And then the pictures that they showed, I'm like, oh yeah, that's just really disgusting. I'm like, who would actually eat that? But then the article, I mean, he went down to say, and this is what I find funny, that he actually went on the internet to find the picture that Uber Eats had on their website and that the restaurant had on the website. And he found it on, I think it was like Google or something like that. And that's how he figured out that they were taking images off of the internet and then just putting them on this restaurant's website for Uber Eats. And I'm thinking, man, this guy has a lot of time on his hands if he's trying to figure out where these pictures are coming from.
And he found them.
That's another thing. He found them.
He found them. That's the wild thing about this. So this gentleman initially reached out to Uber support to try to get the order refunded. He was expecting something gourmet and got something that looked like a dog puked it up. So Uber support did not refund him. They said that it is up to the individual merchants how they choose to prepare an item, and they encouraged him to go in and rate the restaurant. So, Kim, if you received that, are you leaving a rating, or are you just saying, wow, that's terrible, and moving on?
That's a good question. Depends on how mad I was regarding the situation. Sometimes when you're fighting for something, it's like the principle behind your fight. And so it depends on how mad you are behind it. You know, we always think that Uber Eats, Doordash, like they always take the side of the customer. And clearly in this case, they didn't. They said, go do a rating, but that doesn't solve the customer's problem. I guess I come from a customer service industry and background. Like you take care of the customer no matter what it is. Basically, Uber Eats said, yeah, good luck, buddy. Go rate a restaurant.
So, and this was a TikTok thing, a viral TikTok. And this is one of the few occasions where I actually believe the person on TikTok. They showed the Uber app and they showed the conversation with support with them refusing to refund. And, you know, I part of me feels bad for this guy and part of me feels bad for laughing. You know, it's a lighthearted story, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't have been too pleased if I got whatever that is at my doorstep either.
This is actually a good question. Do you think customers want the same quality of food like the restaurant? Like, do you think their expectations are the same?
For
getting
delivery?
it at home. Yeah, getting it at home, that if they actually go and sit down at a restaurant.
I would assume so.
See, I expect the same taste. I don't expect the same presentation, because how can like these chefs, especially if you go to a high-end restaurant, like they're plating it on a really pretty plate and you get it at your table and you're like, oh, that's so pretty, do I even want to eat it? But then you get it at home and it's like thrown into a container and it's like, here you go. So the taste might be there, but is the presentation right there? So taste versus presentation, I don't know.
That's fair. But I think, so in all fairness, I think that if this guy were to go to this restaurant, and I understand it was a virtual restaurant, but for argument's sake, let's say it wasn't, and this guy could actually go to this restaurant and order whatever that is, I'm pretty sure that would still come out looking like that. I don't think it's going to look pretty no matter what they do. That just, that looks like something that a broke college kid would make. So,
yeah, this is actually... I expect my fajitas to be sizzling upon delivery.
Yeah, John. Yeah, that would be a trick for sure for the driver. Show up with forget a hot bag, man. They got a hot plate just with that sizzling fajita, and if that.
As I said, I don't think any hot bag in the world would bring you a sizzling fajita.
Nope. If that thing shows up sizzling, that driver deserves a $25 tip and a 5-star rating.
That's where the 100 miles per hour came into. He was delivering sizzling fajitas.
There you go. And he wanted that 5-star rating and the extra $25. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip from our show, Money Hungry, hosted by me and Kimside Money Plans, right here on the RideShare Guy, live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you enjoyed that video, check out the full episode by clicking here, or you could check out this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the RideShare Guy and turn on all notifications. We'll see you Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for Money Hungry.